Yeah, I put a picture in there. I couldn't get the big kitty to eat. Well, he ate some, but he wasn't eating all of his food. So I had to make sure he was eating. Let's see. I think all the correct buttons have been pressed. Yeah. We were on cat paws. Cat paws. Get it? Cat paws. Get it? Have ever KO'd or been KO'd? No. Well, I don't know. I mean, they have knockouts due to ref stoppage, but it's not really a knockout. You didn't, like not. I've choked people out. With two different people I fought, I choked them out because they get caught in a triangle and they don't know when to tap, and then that's it. They pass out. So I guess through passing out through triangle, yes. So 2 to triangle, 1 was a stoppage due to strikes. Yeah, that's that. But I never lost any of my pro fights. But I only had 5 pro fights. And then I realized, like, oh, I think that was fun. I think that's good. I think I will get a career. Good. What up? All right, so let's go. Let's see what's going on. Well, listen, the market's over 3 trillion. I guess we should be happy about that, right? It's a lot better than the 2.7, 2.8s we saw over the last couple of months. Boy, that was a real dick punch. So, yeah. XRP's running. I was reading about that. Technical things indicated, like, that's how you know who's investing in XRP is those early dummies that are looking at, they're getting emails and technical indicators and all this kind of crap. You're like, okay, good luck. Good luck. I do wish, here's what I hope for XRP. I do hope that it gets to $3.93. You say, why? Because there's a lot of people that have been stuck in that asset for 10 years. Well, 8 years. 8 years straight. 8 years stuck in that thing. And they're down like 40%. So I think the universe would be swell if it got up to 393 and let all those people that got screwed 8 years ago sell out, get their money back. I know they lost because of inflation. They lost because of debasement. They lost because of the time value of money. But at least they got their original investment back. I don't want them to lose. Even if they're stupid, you don't want people to lose. You don't want anyone to lose, especially if they're stupid. That's not fair. Let's see. Is a token migration a reason for concern? Oh, you mean from one network to another? It's usually marketing. When Render is an example, Render went from, because Render's always been a spammy coin that has not much use. Matter of fact, if we get it right with Cinema, we will put them out of business completely. But that's neither here nor there. So it's mostly marketing. Like when Render did it, they just wanted to be aligned with Solana because Solana was hot a few years ago. So they transitioned to Solana. Did it make a difference? No. Does their token make a difference? No. You pay for rendering credits with their token. Could you pay with Ethereum or stablecoin? Yes. Yes. So yeah. So mostly these token migrations are marketing. Now, it used to be that they would move from Ethereum. You might go from Ethereum to your own actual native, your protocol, right? Like Cardano. Cardano was an Ethereum token until they meaningfully launched Cardano's network. Then they transitioned to the Cardano, the native asset of the Cardano protocol, Ouroboros, whatever. So, that's the consensus mechanism was Ouroboros. Anyway, point being, so you could have marketing or you could have a transition like a layer 1 protocol or a very unique asset that used an Ethereum or a Solana or whatever asset in order to raise money that they don't ever have to pay back, as we've learned from Jupiter. They raise money and then they transition to their native asset at some point. So, but it's usually marketing. Yeah, it's usually just marketing. Let's see. Still pretty bullish on sticks and dual staking, earning BTC. Yeah, that's awesome. I was in the sticks. I was in the stacks. I was in the stacks original ICO way back in the day. I just got out of it because it wasn't. I didn't have enough confidence to hold that asset. I like the Bitcoin rewards. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while. I might have made very little. I basically broke even on stacks. They botched their ICO. It was kind of a mess. Yeah, it was the stacks ICO was a mess. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it pop up more and more. I just don't know. I don't know what the need is. Like, you can earn rewards here and there, and that's cool. But I don't think anybody ever woke up saying, "God, thank God, there's a stacks token." And they've pivoted a few times from what their original intention was going to be. So, I don't know, man. Let's see. Okay. Seems like screen is shrunk down. Is anybody else having a problem seeing the little screen thing? You might be on some weird. It's got these weird settings now. It's got a vertical setting, like a cell phone only setting, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's a layer 2 for Bitcoin, but I just don't know that you need a layer 2 for Bitcoin is the thing. Like, I don't know why you need, why do you need a layer 2 for Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a store of value and a form of money. And I know, again, money is a loose term, and money means anything that extinguishes debt and can be exchanged for value and services. I get it. But Bitcoin doesn't need layer 2s. There's no benefit to it. Layer 2 transactions that get post back to the Bitcoin blockchain just gum up transactions. So I just don't know that that's value. I mean, maybe it's valuable to somebody. Yeah, I mean, yes, they can, but they would still be slow and stuck in 10-minute blocks and clunky. And if they're not, then they either maintain the same security characteristics as Bitcoin or they don't. And proof of work over time is not super sustainable. And I don't think people are going to build on Bitcoin. It's weak in too many areas technologically. I mean, Adam Back and those guys will tell you that they're not supporters of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you won't make money on it. I'm saying if you just extrapolate forward, Huday, just think, does the world need to build on Bitcoin? Isn't it enough that you don't? Because what you don't want to do is have people start comparing Bitcoin to Ethereum. Because if you get people starting to do that, they're going to buy Ethereum. They're not going to buy Bitcoin. Right? If you're like, oh, it's almost the same, but it's way cheaper. And oh man, I'm going to get me some Ethereum. So you don't really even want that comparison, I don't think. My screen is shrunk also. I wonder if it launched. Let me see something. Hide vertical. I see this vertical thing. I don't even know why there's a vertical thing. Let me look at the settings. Hold on. Let's see. General. Camera. Visual effects. Well, it wouldn't be a visual effect, would it? Layouts? It wouldn't be layouts. Huh. I don't know what's going on. But I did see, so StreamYard has been playing with this new setting where you can run a show specifically for vertical. And I wonder if it's got this weird vertical setting. Is what I wonder. Yeah, ETH holders would like it. Yeah, I'm thinking it's show the preview of your vertical broadcast. Why is it vertical? It's so weird. Anyway, you guys are watching vertical, so it doesn't show me that you are, but I'm guessing that that's what it is. They've been really trying to push this vertical thing, which I think is pretty stupid. Let me see if I can. Let me try to reshare and see if it had anything to do with that. I don't know if that helps anything. It may just be in some vertical mode. Oh, you know, when I look at a preview of vertical, everything is stuck and you see the chart. Are you guys seeing the chart on the top of the screen, the price chart, and then the chat on the bottom right, kind of like on the right quarter, 25%? That looks normal. No, okay, well, I don't know. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet it's serving up something different for people using a cell phone. I think you have to rotate it to get the normal version, is what I would imagine, which is going to make it a dick punch in order to do to comment. I bet you that's what it is. And I'm going to bet something else. I'm going to bet Arkansas and Randy, you guys are both watching on a phone or a handheld, right? And Jason, you're watching on a handheld, right? Because it's showing me a little device indicator that lets me think that's how you guys are consuming. And I guess if that's the case, it might be serving you up. Because it says Arkansas, it says that you're on a handheld device. It thinks you are. Desktop. That's weird. Mary, it shows you as running. This thing is not very smart. Listen, they're trying to integrate AI. They're giving it a go. It's not always 100%. It's not always even 50%. Okay, so you signed out, signed in, it's normal. Well, sorry. You know what? Maybe today you're going to have to just be okay with just hearing my voice. My voice is going to have to be enough. Yeah. PC with banner on top, right? Oh, it's weird. Okay, Kurt, you're going to have to, I would log out, log back in, or do it through the, try YouTube again. I don't know, man. I don't know. We don't set up these shows any different. StreamYard makes adjustments, but we don't ever set the show up any different. It's always the same. It's like fixed settings that we use. So if there's some setting management creep in there, not a creep as in a person, although I guess that's a double entendre. I mean creep as in kind of the back end evolves a little bit, and so there's some some little nuanced changes that occur whether you like it or not. Yeah. So there we go. Okay. If you guys have any questions, let's knock them out. Otherwise, I'm just kind of watching. I feel like we had a great, we had a good last few days. So I feel like there may be a little give back in order, but we haven't had the big dick punch that we're used to. Remember the Bitcoin dick punch that we're also used to? We haven't really seen it. Let me go back 7 days. We didn't get really much of a dick punch. You guys see much of a dick punch there? I don't. My dick is not punched. Now, we were up at 94 and change, which was good. And it's down a little, but it's not the dramatic, it's people selling some tops is what this is. This is a little trading. $500, $500. I mean, it's kind of minimal. I mean, I think if we hold 92,000, I mean, really, if we stay above 90,000, I think that's a benefit for people psychologically. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But Ethereum's grinding up, which is good. Sui popping up like that is odd. But take the win if you can. I don't think it's warranted or justified. So take the win. Yeah, take the win. Matic, why does that token even still exist? I don't know. Good week for Jupiter. Back to 22, almost 23 cents. That's great. Take that victory. I got out at 22 cents. I got a long time ago. And I put it in Aster, which went straight down. So I actually lost on that. So basically, I bought Jupiter at 80 cents and I sold it at what amounts to about 8 cents. Yeah. Because I sold out at 22 cents and change. I bought Aster at, well, let's see. What was my last purchase of Aster? It ain't pretty. That is one of my biggest losers. Jupiter is my biggest loser, but Aster is my next biggest loser. So I lost, and then I took the losings and I put it in something, and then I lost. Let's see. I bought Aster. Well, that's it. Let's see. Aster. Okay, I bought at my first purchase, 212. My big purchase was at 210. Then I bought at 194. I bought a pretty big chunk at 112. We're still down 40 cents from that. So, not 40, 36, 35 and change. But still, I'm getting my ass handed to me right here. So I almost have chalked up. Almost all of my Jupiter was like a giant loss. And at one point I had over $1 million worth of Jupiter. It is what it is. You got to put your money where you think it's going to do the best. Yeah, I had a 10x the other way. You said 10x take 20? Negative 10x. Go put it in Aster and then take another 50% haircut. I've never been a big fan of Aave. It's just not interesting to me. Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just not interested in it. It's nothing interesting. They're not doing anything interesting. I think just not interesting. Why Aster purchase and not another asset? I mean, I bought it because at the time I wanted to buy it. What do you mean? You guys, okay, look, fellas. When you guys ask a question, you need to be clear about the question. That's not a question. That's like saying, why did you wake up instead of sleep? Because it's daytime. Like there's a million reasons I would wake up rather than sleep. There's a million reasons why I purchased Aster versus any other asset, but that's like a big, giant, open-ended question. You guys got to be specific about the answers that you want. You see what happened last year? Big sell-off after we hit all-time highs happening again. Oh, do I see? No, because there's not. No 2 days are the same. I mean, I don't know the net psychology of the aggregate investor, because I'm not sure anybody knows who the average investor is anymore. Is it institutions? Well, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, mostly through ETFs. But what does that mean? Well, that means it's dummies through retail. Okay, so that's not good. Do you like institutions? Yeah. Wait, retail dummies. Dang it. At least the dummies in crypto understand crypto. The dummies that are buying ETFs, that are just buying ETFs, they don't understand crypto. They're just buying it because it's a shiny new toy. They're clueless. They're dumb as hell. So I don't know. Maybe it's a lower intelligence market than it's ever been. It might be. It might be the lowest, except that over the last 3 months, a lot of idiots got beat up and they're gone. Therefore, let's see. What do you think about the pre-sale token Mutum Finance? I don't think much of it. I think most of the stuff that Coinbase is doing now is kind of spammy and garbagey. They've become a kind of a chop shop. And I think that their last token sale was kind of evidence of that. I think they were testing the waters to see if they could launch Base as a token. I think that's what their intention is. But I don't know that they're, Mutum Finance. What is it? You tell me. What do you think of it? Here, let's go look it up. Mutum Finance. Let's see what this stupid crap is. Let's see. Well, I'm not getting it advertised to me. I'm on here and I don't see. Yeah. Apparently they're not. I have a Coinbase, the badass one, and it's not advertising it to me. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think nothing of it, Arlen, because I can't find it. So I think nothing of it. I had heard about it a while ago, and it wasn't interesting to me then. None of these things. Can you make money on a new listing? Yes, if other people pour into it, but I'm not going to buy crap just because it's new. It's like, I'm just not going to go down that path. I'm not buying crap just because it's new crap. I just don't care. I do not care. Yeah, that's right. Getting listed on Coinbase used to mean something. The Coinbase effect. But there is no Coinbase effect now. They have every asset. The ones they don't have, they indirectly have through Coinbase Wallet, because it's, again, Coinbase didn't build Coinbase Wallet. They purchased it. It was its own. It was just an Ethereum wallet, and they just bought it and they just reskinned it. But there's nothing special, significant, or even safe about it. I would not trust Coinbase Wallet. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at there. The Coinbase effect just doesn't exist because no one cares. They launch, what was that last spammy crap they launched? And they tried to get over $1 billion or something like that. And they ended up getting oh no, it wasn't that. What did they get? They didn't even get 200 million. So it was just and that's Coinbase pumping it to everybody, everywhere, all the time. Also, it was marketed on, Consensus marketed it through MetaMask wallet, as I recall. There was ads for that token. Remember? They're trying to get you to buy it. So, yeah, to me, not interesting. I'm not doing this, It's their version of the IPOs and all that crap. I'm not playing that game with Coinbase. Monad. Yeah, Monad. What a dumpster fire. Anyway, Monad interested. Not interested. Yeah. Okay. Questions, thoughts. As I go down the list, I don't see anything interesting. Hypercycle's up. Let's see what the volume is. $6. Yeah. What's the volume? $20. $20 a volume. Okay. $9,000. Jeez. That thing has just disappeared. Someone reached out to us. Wow. That's neither here nor there. They got a lot to figure out over there. They have a lot to figure out. Will they do it? I don't know. Well, we'll see. All right. What else is new? What did I do yesterday? Well, actually, today I bought some FETH. FETH. I can't buy ETHA, which is the BlackRock Ethereum ETF, because I did some tax loss harvesting and I can't buy it for 30 days. So I'm having to own FETH as its proxy, but it's just not very liquid. And you can't get options sold against it. In fact, I think I have an open order. Let's see. I think I just have a pending open order for it. Oh no, it filled. So I bought FETH, FETH, about 50 cents ago, and then I sold the 34 call. The 34 call, I made 60 cents on it, almost 61 cents. It's weird that it would be that, but that's what it is. So what else is going on here? And I sold, well, that was last week, a bunch of IBIT puts I sold the 52.50 and it's at 52.59. So I'm right there where I need to be. So yeah, I'm wondering, I wouldn't mind if Bitcoin did nothing for 3 days. Nothing. I challenge you, Bitcoin. I challenge you to do nothing for 3 days. See if you'll accept my challenge. This is the other side of technical analysis. This is technical hoping. I'm hoping for I'm hoping for 92, 793, and nothing more, not a penny. All right. The next shiny thing, I think we're in the next shiny thing, and I think that's AI. I just don't think crypto is on people's minds right now. I don't think anyone cares about this. I think people are worried about losing their jobs and an uncertain future to artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence. And I just don't think there's a lot of money in this direction. I mean, based on the past, the recent past, what's more exciting? Look at the last 3 months. Look at all the new cool stuff happening in AI, and Bitcoin straight down. The whole market just down for months. It's that grinding, painful, and of course there's all sorts of other reasons, but I don't think that crypto is interesting to people right now compared to AI. But I don't think anything is interesting to people compared to AI. And all the doom and gloomers and all these idiots, the Steve Van Meters and the Rows and all that, the AI bubble is about to pop. Anytime any market gets any attention that's not their favorite market, they're going to say, oh, it's a bubble, it's this or that. Yeah. Kind of like Amazon was a bubble, right? Oh, wait. What about Tesla? Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't count. Oh, what about NVIDIA? Well, no, that doesn't count. Okay, cool. What about Google? No, that doesn't count. Okay, what about Microsoft? Well, that doesn't count. How many times do you get to say bubble and then just say it doesn't count? Like every bubble these people have called has gone on to make people incredibly wealthy. Kind of makes you think when people think something's a bubble, you should be investing in it. So, but as far as a crypto narrative, I don't think there's anything interesting in crypto. I mean, what's interesting? Stable coins when they come back, when that circles back around. Would I ever buy Meta, Tesla, or Apple? I'm not an equity. I own some Apple only because I have some in some account somewhere and I don't know how to sell it. And I get like a $7 dividend check every. I don't even cash the last one. I just tore it up. I'm like, I'm over it. But Yeah, I can't even find it. I think maybe Charles Schwab or something. It's some old account I had a long time ago, and I just haven't sold it. But I don't. I'm not an equity person, other than the ETF for Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I like the price action. I like generating income. Um, but 20% of my day is paying attention to crypto, and 80% of my day is paying attention to AI, like what we're doing at Cinema. So you have to put your effort where there's the most outcome. I think if Tesla gets their robots right, um, I mean, Tesla could just go crazy, because, robots, like robots, if they get, 2026, I think is going to be the year where these robots meaningfully launch. And I don't know when that kind of starts, but I know a lot of these little robot companies were saying January, February, March, you can start ordering the units that will ship by the summer. That's pretty badass, dude. And I will definitely have a robot. I've got robot vacuums. I just ordered a race car simulator. Well, they're building it. So why wouldn't I have a Terminator just walking around? If I can teach Terminator to just basically be a security Terminator and to play with the cats, like to do the string thing because they love that. You kidding? I'm in heaven. What money well spent on robot? Of course, I will lease robot because I want to turn robot in and get another robot. Can you imagine? Will you be able to? Let's say you use robot for work. That's a business expense, right? Just saying. Robot. Well, yeah, because I'm going to get it this time because I'm having someone locally here build one. I found a shop in Santa Clarita where they build them. They're modular now. They have the same kind of base, and they whatever. So I'm getting a 6 DOF one. If you guys know what that is, 6 degrees of freedom. So it's this way, 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 like all the different like angles. And my buddy Phil and I went and we tested one, and dude, it's like being there. It's like being in a car. It's great. And it's so much fun. I don't know if any of you guys have been on a racing simulator, or if you've gone to a racetrack. I know that Dawn here races, but you could die when you race. You're less likely to die in a race car simulator. But when you get to haul ass in a car, 160, 180, 190, 210 miles an hour in the Formula Ones, it is badass. And when it is visually like perfect, like we're doing this on mine's going to have 3 55-inch high definition televisions. Your brain, like once you check in, you are there. You're in the car and you see everything. Like you have the instrumentation and all that. It's badass. It's really cool. And it's hard to simulate that kind of, or it's hard to express that kind of fun that it is, like being racing go-karts, but like, some of the racing go-karts go up to 120 miles an hour, but this is the kind of go-karts you guys are driving in go like 35, right? Just imagine going 210 miles an hour. And then if you crash, you don't die. Super fun. But anyway, yeah, I like trying to get lap times lower and lower and lower and all that kind of stuff, and learning about all the technology and all that kind of stuff's really fun. Hi, kitty. How you feeling, little beauty? Now she wants her chicken that she didn't eat. That's what happens. Do you ever have that post-meal remorse where, like, I get it with it, specifically IHOP, because the pancakes are so good at IHOP, where you eat there, but you don't finish the pancakes because they're too much. And you're like, I can't do it. It's too rich for me. But then like 3 hours later, you're like, man, I wish I still had those pancakes. Those things were good. So you have like post uneaten pancake remorse. Let's see. Do you see people being reluctant or eager to accept? Eager. Mark, would you say yes to universal basic income? Would you let them send you a check that covered all of your nominal fees, house, healthcare, food, a vehicle, if you even need one? Probably could, if you have universal basic health, probably have universal kind of like ride share or whatever, just ride share. You have universal credits you can use. Like, would you take the check? Who here would take the check? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, boo-boo. Little fluffy, little beauty. Who here would take that check? They're not going to send me one, but I would take it. Who's going to pay for it? Well, the idea is that the abundance created by artificial general intelligence would, there would be so much kind of innate arbitrage in everything we do that money would be created. What do you mean never, Donna? You would not take the money? They send you a check, you would just tear it up? You would refuse to accept it, but everybody else? What's wrong with you guys? You just won't take it? Yeah. I guess it's just me and Randy. Me, Randy, and Kurt's on the fence. The rest of you guys, listen, if you have any more unwanted money that's a result of the benefit of AGI, just send it my way. Matter of fact, we're going to make a fund. Me, Kurt, Randy, Jen, we'll take that check. We're going to make a fund. And we'll call it the Others Fund. You guys just send that money here. Yeah, well, that's true. But it has been true for a long time. Don't forget, though, Craig, they also trade on insider information. What underlying value supports the value of the USD? Well, those are two different things. UBI is not universe. Okay. The best way to explain it is this. Let's say you have AI machines, AIMs, doing various things all the time. They're in every market. They're in manufacturing. They're everywhere. And they are taking opportunities and arbitraging things, buying something for $3, selling it for 40, buying something for 18 cents, selling it for $1.60, over and over and over. They are arbitraging everything. And they are swelling a pile of cash. And then you take that cash and you redistribute it to the people. You take the excess through arbitrage created by this beneficial, benevolent, kind AGI, and you hand it back out to the people that it is in weird, patchy ways vacuumed out of, right? You take all the inefficiency of humanity, you hoover up the arbitrage, and then you redistribute it to those same people. That's UBI, okay? Universal basic income. And the idea is that this arbitrage and these new ideas that would be created and implemented that would make life easier, life cheaper, life longer, all of those things could have some material cash value. Now, you would get to a point where you say, well, if we really nail this, then we really wouldn't need a basic income could take on a different flavor. A basic income doesn't mean dollars. You could imagine a system where we don't function on dollars at all. There is no currency. Period. Oh, I do want my check. I didn't want my check from Apple because it takes 5 minutes to do a deposit on Chase. So I lose more money by taking the time to make the deposit than the money I get. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes to get $7. If someone was like, hey, listen, come help me move some furniture for 20 minutes for $7, you tell them to rightly F off, right? So that's the problem. If I could just take my phone and go whoop, whoop, and the check was in there, then I would do it. But you can't go whoop, whoop. It's like a whole process. I'm tired of it. So that's the idea of that's what UBI would be. But then you could get to a point past money where, as long as that abundance is created, the food would arrive, or your your printer, your food printer, like imagine that being a bank of 4 different food printing machines and all that kind of stuff, instead of a coffee maker I never use, and a microwave I'm unsure about because there's pieces of metal in it and it says it knows, but I'm like, I've always been told not to put metal in a microwave. I'm a little reluctant, but anyway, so that abundance that's created could just go straight to the human. You might not need the mechanism of currency in between it. So the universal basic income could end up just being universal basic life sustenance. And so I'm sure this will take on many forms that are much better constructed than what I've just told you, because they'll be doing the entities making it will be, what are you doing, Bubba? Will be generally intelligent or super intelligent of nature, and they're smarter than me. Let's see. If AI takes over arbitrage, ultimately it will become a game of tic-tac-toe, don't you think? What do you mean? I don't really know what you're saying. I mean, if it's arbitrage, it would be a bunch of very intelligent AI agents that would probably start to collude and work together, because there's no point competing. And so you can have they would collude and they would spread out the gains amongst each other, unless the Apple game takes over and it becomes a scarce resource competition. And then some digital superintelligence would want to corner the market on scarce resource. But even then, once they did, it wouldn't want its own agent networks competing with each other. It would want kind of a homogeny. It would want a benevolent, at least an internally benevolent, Nash equilibrium-based swarm of agents and arbitrage opportunities. Yeah, so I don't know that. Whatever you mean by tic-tac-toe, I don't know, but I don't think that. Let's see. Yeah, I've played tic-tac-toe, but again, you guys ask these open-ended questions, man. This is why you guys aren't working in AI. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too picky, but if you are working in AI and you ask open-ended sloppy questions, you get nothing. You just get nothing. You get open-ended weird results that go in a million different directions. You can't build in a million directions. What do you mean? It's not a no-win game. And actually, so a couple things. A zero-sum game is a game where there is not a draw. So you got those twisted. A zero-sum game means you have a winner and you have a loser. You can't have a tie in a zero-sum game. So humans will become obsolete. I think in most things, humans are obsolete. You see anybody? I mean, do you see? I guess in some areas, like with some fruit orchards and stuff, you see people, usually immigrants, working. But in most agricultural areas, do you see humans doing much? If you go into a car factory, do you see humans doing much? What do? They observe the robots. I mean, humans are mostly obsolete. Do you know what the percentage of humans trading is? It's less than 10% now. I think it's 10% or less. It's it's a bunch of algorithmic and math-based auto trading and things like that. Like most of the humans, because of their stupidity, are the profit margin for these algorithms. So, I mean, humans are mostly obsolete. We're ushering in the last part that we have an advantage, which is our intelligence. So the way we make decisions and our intelligence, we're ushering in a new kind of technological species that is more intelligent than we are. Therefore, yes, I think humans will become more obsolete, but I think humans are already mostly obsolete. If you look through society, there's a lot of not really necessary stuff going on. There's a lot of not necessary. How many middlemen and rent takers do you see in the chain of human economics in any market? How many middlemen? How many, like Coinbase? Here's an example. Do we even need Coinbase? Does it even need to exist? I'm not sure it does anymore. Why do you need Coinbase? We got wallets. You can swap into anything you want. So why Coinbase? I mean, I think it's a valid question. Why Coinbase? Anyway, let's see. Point I'm ultimately making is AI will result in equal outcomes, only able to achieve a draw. Well, no, I don't think equal outcomes. I think you take the outcomes and you divide them out among many. And I think you also would, well, it would make markets much smoother because I think if you're saying, would it reduce volatility and all that kind of stuff? Yes. Would it reduce uncertainty? Yes. So would it bring everything to kind of casino blackjack margins, right? Like 49.9, 50.1, right? Like, would something like that? Yes. But on the grand scale, because of the efficiency of AI and AGI and digital superintelligence and the ideas that they'll come up with that we haven't. Think of just the reduction in costs of food, of living expenses, of minerals, of healthcare, of longevity. Just think of the reduction in costs. I mean, and so imagine there's no more tax. You don't pay for food. You don't pay for anything. You don't have to. I think that would change things quite a bit. And I think people would live a different life. You would start saying, well, what do I want out of my life? What am I trying to accomplish? What do I want? When people retire, they don't tend to do well because they don't have a system. They don't have habits. They don't have kind of goals that they're trying to achieve. They don't have milestones. They don't have anybody over. It is not easy to not have a boss. It is not easy. I mean, it's nice, but you're also responsible if you fail. It's on you. If you don't have a boss, if you don't have a check coming in, if you F up, it's all gone because of you. But imagine if you take all that away, if you take all that stress away, you get to be the guy with no boss and no stress. Now, if you have some kind of human, I don't even know what you call it. You having a gambling addiction, a drug addiction, something like this, which again, I'm sure people are going to get high as hell. Yes, there's always ways to go the wrong way, but you would have sustenance. You would be able to exist and not have to go punch in or punch out for somebody. That would materially change the way you think about your life. Yes, it would. I also think it would reduce the dummy or the gambling factor quite a bit. But you're still going to have people that want to get outside, that want more. Like enough is not enough for them. And for them, okay, maybe they can do extra stuff and you want to make more, go make more. But the point is you wouldn't have a class of people like we do now that have nothing. We have a huge class of humans. We have the haves and the have nothings, not haves and have nots. And that's not, I don't think, a good thing, right? I don't think that's a good thing. Haves and have nots, that's just the reality of it. But haves and have nothings, that's a no bueno. It's no bueno. And people would say like, well, back in the days we were in the jungle and the fat ones wouldn't make it. And well, one, you lived in the jungle. You weren't fat. There weren't fat ones. Then they would say, oh, the fat ones wouldn't have made it in the jungle. They wouldn't have gotten fat. If they did get fat, it's because they were such good hunters that they ate so much that they got to be fat. but that they were still good hunters because otherwise they wouldn't be fat. They'd be skinny because they wouldn't be eating because they wouldn't be hunting right. So those kind of arguments. Now, genetic anomalies and birth defects and all that kind of stuff, yes, they would not have done well in a jungle environment, in a survival of the fittest environment. And there's a lot of people that have been sustained through society. And if you took away that sustenance, you would have a lot less chubby people. And I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm just saying that's what the reality is. So we're in a weird kind of sustenance society, but in what the middle class used to be the group where if you wanted to go up, you could fight your way up. And if you didn't care, you could coast a little bit because you had enough education and whatnot. Yeah, I think the middle class is eroding or eroded or doesn't exist. God, it's weird. I went and ate last night at a restaurant. I was thinking, and it was kind of expensive, but not too expensive because I don't drink. So it wasn't terrible. But me, one person, here's all I had. I had oysters. I had bread. I had a wedge salad. And I had a 12-ounce steak. But it was a bone-in, so it's really not 12. It's probably like 8 ounces. Those things... Yeah, I had little pieces. I had bread. Yeah, bread, oysters, wedge salad, steak. No dessert, nothing else. It's $240. You're like, what the smoke? Oh, and I had a Mexican Coke and a Mexican Sprite, but those were not that expensive. You think, Jesus, in that place, there's people all over the place. Like, how do people afford this crap? Like, I felt kind of bad afterwards. I mean, if you spent $250, I mean, even if you just did it 5 days a week, right? You're at $1,250, right? And what do you have to show for it? $1,250 a week. You're at what? $60,000, $60K a year, $60K a year. If I wanted to eat like that every night. That's a lot of money, man. So if you made, what do you have to make to spend $60K a year on food? And that's only dinner, dude. That was just dinner. That's not lunch, breakfast, and all that. I don't do lunch, breakfast, and all that. I do shakes, but still. I just don't know that that's justified. And that's because, and that's even saying I'm not going out on the weekends. If I'm going out on the weekends, sheesh. Now I'm at what, 75, 80,000? So what do you have to make? I mean, I do well and I could not rationalize that. It just doesn't make sense. That's why I got my Campbell's Thick and Chunkies behind me and I can pop one of those bad boys in and I spend $4 instead of $250. So, yeah. There are a lot of people who would rather buy expensive versus stuff to have and hold on to. Well, I don't think we own anything, first of all. And I think expensive stuff is a kind of signaling, no better, no worse than virtue signaling or anything else. It's a kind of signaling. Look at me, look at what I've accomplished. People that buy for the labels, if it's not tactical, I think it's stupid. Now, there are tactical reasons why in business and in what line of business you're in that you want to look the part. That is the unfortunate reality of where we're at. And there is value to that. If I show up to a meeting to pitch cinema and I show up in a Prius, by the time I've walked in the door, they will never take me seriously. They're like, this guy's a loser. If I show up in a Rolls Royce, they go, oh, okay. Whatever. He's doing something right. Is that a fair assessment? No. That's like the baseball scout looking at the pitcher's girlfriend to see if he's got low self-esteem or not, to figure out, if he's going to be coachable and make it to the bigs or whatever. So like, I'm not sure all of that's completely valid, but I know that in the world we live in, the way you show up and the way you present yourself does matter. And that first impression does matter. And it's hard to take people seriously when you don't see, if they're trying to sell you success and you don't see success when they pull up, it's hard to sell it. However, should their entire life and wardrobe be around that? I would hope not, but I ain't here to tell no one how to live their life. I'm just trying to teach people how to invest. It was called Boulevard Steak. There's one in Sherman Oaks. There's one in Calabasas. They're pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And yes, experiences are better. But, just depends on wherever your values are, right? We talk about this all the time. Everybody has different value system. What you value and what I value, we can both vehemently argue that we're correct, and nobody's really correct. A value is a construct of each individual one of us. A construct, if you will. Anyway, what do I value right now? Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's about it. There's nothing else that looks enticing. Why are XRP and Cardano up on the week 16 and 20%? Is that justified? Well, is it justified? No. But is it correct? Yes. The price is always right. So good for them. Ethereum having a 9% week so far. I mean, the last 7 days, good. Bitcoin up 4.5 was higher this morning. But, listen, what did we say? I want $92,700 for the next, at least get me to Friday, at least get me to roll, at least get me where I can roll, at least get me to Thursday. Get me to Thursday is all I'm asking. Come on, man. I'm not asking much. Just get me that roll, baby. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Oh, dude, you can drive in the 24 hours of Le Mans on a simulator. This is the whole thing. All these tracks you see when you watch F1 and when you watch NASCAR, whatever, you can get on almost any car on any track. What I thought was going to be, what I'm going to start doing is when Formula One season starts with these new cars, I'm going to have my own mini Formula One season. I'm going to try to get 8 or 10 people together that have simulators. I know actually Robert over at AGI is looking at putting one. Robert, the CEO of True AGI, he was a Formula 2 driver, skilled. He was skilled enough to drive Formula 1, but he didn't have a death wish. So anyway, I think he's going to race with me. We're going to put together 6 or 8 people that have simulators. We're going to do, when they do qualifying on the Formula 1 tracks, we're going to do our own little baby league. We're going to do qualifying. And then when they race, we're going to race on the same tracks because you can do that. And that will be pretty fun. And we'll see how far off are we from these guys, these professionals. My guess is very far, because turns out they're the best on earth at car. So anyway, yeah. So I like simulated experiences, which also makes me wonder if this is in fact one right now. Something to ponder. Anyway, until tomorrow, stay in school, don't do drugs, don't do anything my poor and solve a drunk, string on a meth grandmother, or Brandon wouldn't do. I urge everybody here to think about I want you to focus for a day on precision. Precision. Especially when you're messing with AI, when you're making prompts and things like that, take a little bit extra. Don't be sloppy. Don't be weak with your prompting. Take a little bit extra time and tighten the precision in what you're asking for, right? The more precise your questions, the more precise your outputs. Yeah. Well, Max Verstappen and all those guys, they race. They race in iRacing, right? Which is simulators. They drive 3 to 4 times more hours in the simulators than they do in real life because they restrict them. You can only drive so much in real life. They restrict you. They restrict the vehicles. That's why they have all these test drivers. So they race simulators. And Max races in iRacing, like a lot. Anyway, pretty cool. All right. I will see you guys. Brandon and I will see you tomorrow. Bam.